Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestle TV and the first ever Smackdown review. Now, we're going to be starting doing these, and I'm going to be doing Smackdown, Dylan's going to be doing Raw, but you probably already got that because the Raw review is on the channel right now. But anyway, we have a review to do, so let's get to it. Our first segment for this evening was AJ came out and he cut a promo basically saying that this title has been overlooked for so long, and he's definitely right about that. And now, I'm actually kind of glad it's on AJ. It looks really good on him. So he basically came out and he came with an open challenge for the U.S. title. U.S. Open Challenge. Boom. Shakalaka. And then John Cena came out to accept the challenge. Now, I was really excited to see this match, to be entirely honest, even though I said, Kevin Owens is gonna come out. So, yes, and Kevin Owens did come out right before the match started. I was like, come on. And then Kevin Owens was basically saying, hey, yo, you don't deserve that title. Hey, yo, no one wants to see you, John. Get out of here. So, that's basically what he was saying. And then he went up to attack AJ. Rusev came in and super kicked John, and then we never got the match. And I was really sad because I actually kind of wanted to see that match. But it looks like we're going to get it later on. So that's going to be something to look forward to for the U.S. title. And, yeah, it was a grade A segment. First wrestling match of the night. Least favorite. Ty Dillinger versus Jinder Mahal. And here's the thing about this match. Alright, it got me really frustrated because it was a 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minute, I don't freaking know, it's like it was 5 to 7 minutes of a squash match. Jinder demolished him. Ty got a little bit of offense in, but no, Jinder had most of the offense. And since he did not get a jobber entrance, I thought it was going to be equal. I was going to be like, okay, so they're going to get equal offense. Jinder's going to have a challenge with Ty, and then Ty is going to, like, come close, and then Jinder's going to, like, screw up and win. But no, that didn't happen. Because Jinder, being Jinder, he squashed Ty. That's really sad because he should really get a push soon. And this is not how you're going to push him. Do not feed him to Jinder Mahal to get beat the crap out of. This match had me really salty. Because Ty should get a push, but yeah, they just fed him to Jinder. This match had me kind of like sad. The next match of the night was it was a short match, but it was a good short match. It was a short match, but it was a good one. It was Xavier Woods versus Jey Uso. And really, I personally think that Xavier Woods should wrestle more. Because he's a good wrestler. Okay? He's a really good wrestler. And it was a good match. New Day and his brother Jimmy were outside being the managers, and they got into an altercation, and the ref threw them out of there. And so they were left in the ring, and Xavier Woods tried to get a roll up, kicked out, and then they did some pretty cool spots to win the match. Xavier got Jay within the ropes, and then he did a knee to the back of the head or the neck, and then boom, 1, 2, 3. Xavier Woods wins, New Day wins, and then Jimmy came up and was like, "How dare you win?" And then New Day was like, "Woo, yeah, New Day rocks." Yeah, it was a good short match. I liked it. I did like that match though. It was a good short match. Next up, we had a segment. It was a women's segment. And Shane was talking to Naomi, and Naomi was asking, "Hey, who's my next opponent for Battleground? You better not say Lana." And then Charlotte and Becky both came in and said, "Hey, it better not be Lana." And then Natalya, Lana, and Tamina came in. And they had an altercation, with verbal words. It got pretty savage in there. They were like, "Yeah, you're just working off the family name. Oh, who are you talking, Brett? Oh, I mean Natalya." That's what Becky said. It was pretty cool. And yeah, it was a pretty good. And then Shane was like, "Okay, here's the match: Charlotte, Becky, Lana, Tamina, Natalya, 5-way women's match for the #1 contendership." And the only problem I have with it is that it's already been done twice. It's already been done 2 or 3 times. That's my only concern with it. But it does show like the best out of this match will get a title for the championship. At least they're going up against the whole roster. And then Carmella came in and was like, here's a letter from my attorney, reinstate James Ellsworth. And then Shane was like, nah, fam, and ripped the letter. And then that was pretty funny, to be entirely honest. I mean, that was pretty funny. The next match on the card was supposed to be Nakamura and Corbin. But no, that match didn't happen because Nakamura made his entrance, and Corbin made his entrance, and then Nakamura attacked Corbin, and then they just got into a brawl, just punching each other, kicking each other, throwing into the crowd, getting them out. Officials had to come out and separate them, but ultimately, the match didn't happen, and Nakamura was just in the ring, just like, come on, and he did that sort of thing, and then just like, and then Corbin wouldn't come down, so the match didn't happen. Of course, they didn't give it out on free TV. It would be a good. It's going to be a pretty good match though at Battleground. So I'm not expecting a thing like that next week. WWE, stop that. Stop that right now. And then basically, yeah, it's just, it wasn't a match. That's all that made me sad about it, was it wasn't a match. Tear. Next match of the night, we had a tag team match that Shane put together in that same women's segment, but it was Becky and Charlotte versus Tamina and Natalya. It was an okay match. Your typical babyface team versus heel team. Heel team gets the better of the babyface team until hot tag, ba-ting, get control, win the match. Yeah, that's basically what happened. But ultimately, Tamina won because she was about to lock Natalya in the figure 4, but she didn't realize that Natalya already tagged in, but it was trickery by the heels and all that sort of jazz. And it was an okay match. I liked their little, like, tea thing. Like the little tea thing that they did when they tagged in Charlotte and Becky. Yeah, but it was just an okay match. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was in the middle. Okay. Next segment we had was probably one of the best segments of the night. It was when Sammy met up with Maria and Mike Kanellis in the hallway, and then earlier in the night, Maria came to the locker room, was like, Sammy in there? Chad was like, oh, Sammy woo woo, Sammy wow wow, and then she was like, what? And then Gable was like, it's a thing that we do. And then later that night, Sammy went up and was just like, hey, you wanted to see me? And then Maria was like, I want an apology. Sammy's like, I'm kind of sick of apologizing. What do you do, Mike? What do you even do here? Are you the lover and she's the fighter? Then Maria slapped the crap out of him. Heard that and felt that. And then Mike was like, hold on a second. He took the flower vase, pa-ting! And then Maria was like, that's the power of love, Sammy. Sometimes love hurts. It's a really good segment. One of the best segments of the night besides the U.S. Open Challenge one. It's a good segment. It's good. I liked it. I liked that segment. Last segment of the night, we had a Fashion Files. It was Walker, Texas Ranger, and it was based off Walker, Texas Ranger because we're in San Antonio. It was pretty cool. I liked it, and I like how next week we're gonna get an X-Files one, which would be great. And it was really funny. It was a really funny segment, and Fandango just like riding the horse, and then Tyler Breeze was ready with his lasso, and then he was gonna lasso Zack Ryder, and then he screwed it up, and then Fandango like asked Zack if he trashed the office. Zack was like, no man. And Mojo was like, listen dude, we gotta get our heads in the game. It seems like Mojo is beginning to turn. We saw that in the segment, and it was really good. Mojo might be turning heel. I don't know when. Probably after Battleground. Maybe. Hopefully. It's going to be really cool. But yeah, it's gonna be really cool, and I'm gonna be ultimately sad when it happens because something's gonna go down. Something's gonna go down. Man. Finally, the main event of the evening. We had John Cena. Then we had the phenomenal AJ Styles versus Rusev Machka. And then we had Fight Owens Fight in a tag team match because of the altercation we had in the first segment. This was an okay match, but ultimately it was match of the night compared to Dillinger and Mahal. Woods and Jay were pretty good. What other match? And the tag team match and the Nakamura versus Corbin match. Ultimately, it was a pretty good match. I liked how he tried to do the calf crusher on Rusev. It was actually going pretty well until Kevin Owens was like, "Nah, fam," and Cena picked up the pin, and then he raised AJ's hand and was like, "Yo, man, we're gonna fight soon for that title." And yeah, it was a pretty good match. That's all I really have to say about it. It was a pretty good match. Ultimately, SmackDown was kind of bland this time around. Like, Dylan told me the same thing about Raw. Raw was kind of bland. And SmackDown was also kind of bland. I was kind of disappointed because I'm usually like really into SmackDown, but no, not this week. Not this week. Probably like the best match of the night was the main event, and then one of the best segments was Maria and Mike Kanellis and Sami Zayn. And the Fashion Files. But ultimately, it was pretty bland. Yeah, I didn't really like this SmackDown. I don't think any SmackDown could top the July the 4th SmackDown, because that was a really good one. That was a really good SmackDown, July the 4th. And I don't think, this SmackDown was just bland. It's just disappointing. It made me had a tear. But ultimately, that's been SmackDown Review. I've been your host, Luke Love, and we will see you guys next week. And I will see you later. Goodbye from Pro Wrestle TV. Woohoo!